this is the first time in a while that I'm doing like a sit-down YouTuber-y type of video, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous and a bit camera shy, but anyways, my name is Emmy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm from Tokyo, Japan, but I'm half American, half Japanese. That's why I sound super American. But now I live in a country called South Africa, which is in the south of Africa. I find it so funny that some people asked me, like, where is South Africa? And I'm like, it's would take a while to guess. But anyways, I moved here to a city called Port Elizabeth, or PE, or Eveja, that's the official name. I moved to PE at the end of January of last year, and I've been living here for about 7 months so far. And as you can imagine, South Africa is quite different from Tokyo, Japan, where I come from. And so I thought it'd be fun if I make a little video about all the culture shocks and funny things that I find about South Africa. So when I came to South Africa, I wasn't one of those people who were expecting that lions and elephants and zebras are walking around the street, but I also wasn't expecting that cows would be on the streets. This is like just in the middle. It's
we
not
didn't
a
even
field.
think about it anymore.
It's not a field.
It's just like the road and there's cows.
That's kind of beautiful.
And one more thing that I discovered recently is that there's always peacocks in hospitals for whatever reason. Oh my word, there's so many more things on a car. Check.
Fuck the tourists.
And the next culture shock is how much South Africans love their meat. So biltong is really famous. It is really nice, to be fair. And South Africans love their braais. So braai is basically like a South African version of a barbecue, but definitely don't call it a barbecue in front of them because they're not gonna be happy about that. It is a braai. And also, if you're vegan or vegetarian and want to move to South Africa, girl, you're gonna have a rough time in South Africa, but that's how much they love their meat. But also I think maybe in Cape Town and stuff, they're a bit more probably like vegan friendly and whatever. But if you go to any other place, it will be tough to survive as a vegan, just saying. And the next one is, okay, South Africa isn't necessarily the safest place on earth. In fact, some may say that it is quite dangerous. And one of the things that was sort of a culture shock to me was the presence of car guards. So anywhere like in front of a shopping center or like anywhere that you would park your car, there's usually people called car guards around there. They have these like security vest things on, and they're just kind of like around the parking lot and making sure that people won't break into your car. And when you're about to leave, they're always like next to your car and like kind of ushering you out. And you always kind of have to tip them like 5 to 10 rand at the end. And I don't know, to South Africans, that's probably super normal, but I've just never seen that kind of thing before. So that was quite interesting. Oh, and speaking of tips, in South Africa, you do tip sometimes. When it's like a restaurant sit-down situation where you have like a waiter serving you, then you usually tip at the end. The standard is about 10%. That's for all people who are thinking of coming to South Africa. Yo, okay, buying data for your phone in this country is so complicated. Like, it's literally more complicated than Japan, which says a lot because Japan is really complicated. First of all, you have to buy a thing called airtime, which you would go to like a store, like a supermarket or whatever, and to the cashier you would say, may I please have 100 rands worth of Vodacom airtime or something like that. And they give you a receipt which has a long PIN code on it, and then you have to enter that into your phone and then get your airtime. And with that airtime, you buy data, then you can use the internet with it. And even like buying data, it's like not straightforward. There's like different options, different packages, different sales going on and that sort of thing. That's data. It literally took me like a few weeks to grasp the concept of buying data in South Africa. Ooh, okay, wait, this is a funny one. So again, South Africa, not the safest place. There are unfortunately a lot of mugging incidents and stuff. But what I thought was so funny was that there's like a mugger's walk. Like there's a stereotypical way a mugger would walk in South Africa, which I didn't know that was a concept that would ever exist. And unless you're South African, I'm pretty sure you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I will show you guys right now.
Wilson, this is a social experiment. If a mugger's trying to mug you, what is the walk that he's doing?
There we go.
Can you show me how a mugger would walk? Yeah, that.
But I'm too white to do it with it.
I want to put it in my YouTube video. I'm gonna ask him much. The accuracy. Good walk to you. The stereotype.
And okay, this is something really, really random now, but people banter a lot in this country. Like, people's love languages are bantering and making jokes. Like, literally, the ability of these people to be able to laugh about their problems is like inspirational. Like, South African memes, guys, slap. And even to prove my point, I literally just sent this reel to my sister a little bit ago. And it's this South African guy saying like, yo guys, as us South Africans, we gotta date other South Africans.
Like, I can't wake up every single day of my life and be like, babe, it was a joke. I'm sorry. I was only joking. No.
I can't make a culture shock South African video without talking about this, but obviously, load shedding. Basically, in South Africa, we don't have enough electricity. And so pretty much every single day, we have power cuts for a few hours per day. There's literally an app that is solely dedicated to let you know the load shedding schedule of the day, of the week. And although people always complain about it all the time, like, to be honest, you get used to it like very quickly. Like, after a few days, I was completely used to it. And it's just like, that's how you just live your day.
So we have this thing in South Africa where we turn the lights off and then everyone like goes and like finds a hiding spot. And we basically play hide and seek in the dark. I need a good hiding spot. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Context, it's we need to turn right. It's load shedding, so the robots aren't working now, and just people are coming in from every direction. And the trucks coming in from every direction. This is terrifying you.
And there's pedestrians.
Guys, it's a team effort.
Yeah. That was pretty smooth. I must say, that was great.
How's it brew? Lekker, man, lekker. Next, I want to talk about the slangs and accents of South Africa. That was quite a culture shock to me. Lekker is the most famous one. It means like nice. It comes from Afrikaans. But there's so many other like words or slangs that I didn't know what it meant when I first was here for the first few weeks. So for example, oaks means guys, or people would just say O's or oaks. Robots are traffic lights. Hectic, like literally people use hectic so hectically it's kind of hectic. Do you see what I did there? It just means like something crazy or like something like intense or something like that. Also, shot means thank you. Haibo means like no way, and it comes from like Zulu or Xhosa or something. Xhosa. We're gonna get to that in the next point, okay? The click language. And also an infamous one is how they use the word now. Now is a very loose term in South Africa. They would say now, they would say now, they would say just now. And if somebody says they're gonna do something now, that means like now. That means like later. And if they say they're gonna do something just now, like, it might be tomorrow, it might be in 6 months, it might be never, you never know. And people would say like, I'll see you now, or like, I'll call you now. But that doesn't mean now, it means like in a little bit. Like maybe in the next half an hour. Like, I'll see you soon, I'll call you in a bit. That's what they're saying. It's so confusing, but I do love South Africa, guys. Ooh, and the accents as well. The accents are pretty fun. I still to this day cannot imitate a South African accent. And I think partially it's because there are so many South African accents, guys. Like, it depends completely on your race, where you're from, and it sounds completely different. Like an English white South African accent, it sounds completely different if you're in Cape Town to if you're in PE. Like a PE accent is something like instead of saying like, they would say laag, laugh. And they would say ja instead of yeah, they would say ja. And Afrikaans people have a super distinct accent. Sometimes like if you're like super Afrikaans, like you can hear the accent from a mile away. And colored people have their own accent. Like a Cape colored has a super distinct accent and they sound completely different from like a colored from Joburg or Durban or something like that. So it's really interesting. There's different accents and I love accents and languages, so that's really fun. And this is the last one, but there are so many languages in South Africa, guys. There are 11 official languages, 12 if you include sign language. And people are always like bilingual, trilingual. I know a guy who speaks 7 languages, guys. How crazy is that? I'm just thinking, but I genuinely actually don't know all the 11 official languages. Like, I can't name them all. Like, I know, okay, there's English, Xhosa, Zulu, Afrikaans, Tswana, Sotho, Pedi. Like, that's all I can name. There's a few others, and I shall look at them up and put them on the screen right here because I must learn as well. But generally, a lot of people speak English, especially if you're in a big city, then most people will speak English. I find that also, like, a lot of people do understand Afrikaans, and I really want to learn Afrikaans just to be able to understand what people are saying. To be honest, I'm not that interested actually in Afrikaans. I really want to learn Xhosa. I think it's like the second biggest language in South Africa after Zulu, and in my region in Port Elizabeth, that's the biggest language. But yo guys, I'm so keen to learn Xhosa someday. Like, even the clicks, yo guys, it took me 4 months to be able to do the clicks. Like, even still, like, I'm not that great at it, but like, it took me 4 months to be able to do the different clicks. But guys, don't you think it would be so funny if like my language palette was Japanese, English, Spanish, a little bit of French, and Xhosa? Like, that would be so cool. One day, guys, one day. And speaking of languages, guys, this is the perfect time for me to talk about Lingoda, who is very kindly sponsoring today's video. So if you don't know, Lingoda is an online language school that teaches German, English, business English, French, and of course, Spanish. And I've worked with them before in the past. They're super cool. We love them. And I've also taken multiple of their classes, so I can testify that they are, in fact, quality. You can either choose a small group class or a private lesson where you hop on a live Zoom lesson and a experienced teacher will be teaching you, mainly focusing on speaking and conversation, which is great, but also learning grammar structures. And what's great about Lingoda is that because it's online, lessons are going on 24/7, and so you can book your lesson anytime, anywhere, and you can fit it into your busy schedule. And it's also cool because Lingoda covers all levels of language learning, so whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, they got you all covered. And you can take a placement test in the beginning to see which level you fit in. And I would genuinely recommend this if, well, first of all, you thrive in like a classroom situation, or you feel stuck in your current level of language learning and you're craving for something to stretch you, to push you to the next level, and that would give you maybe like a structure in your language learning. And Lingoda is now doing a back to school campaign, which will give you 25% off your first 2 months if you decide to continue after your free trial. So try out Lingoda for yourself with their 7-day free trial where you can take 3 small group classes completely for free. Just click the link in the description to find out more and use my code ME25 to receive a 25% discount on your first 2 months if you decide to continue. And thanks so much, Lingoda, for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, that's it, guys. Those are some of the culture shocks that I had for South Africa in my 7 months of living here. But also, I do want to stress, guys, although I'm kind of painting South Africa in a funny way with load shedding and like the muggers and all that kind of stuff, I love South Africa. Like, literally, it is my favorite country that I've ever been to, and I want to stay here forever. I flippin' love South Africa. So I have plenty of great stuff to talk about it. If you want me to make a video of like my favorite things about South Africa, let me know. Or if there's any kind of topic about South Africa that you would like to know more, just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching this video until the end. I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao. Which will give you 25% off your first 6 is right in front of my window. Did you call me?
The worst person ever.
Security! I don't have no money.
My man!
Yeah, I'm almost done. I literally have like 4 lines left.
Yo, man, scrubs a YouTube video.
No, this is a sponsored video.
Guys, she scrubs it. Sponsored with this.
I know how to say your mom in also. It's Michael. Anyways.